Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, August the 28th. We are almost done with September somehow. Of course, we knew it was coming because everybody's going back to school. So let me catch up with you here. This is IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. If you all need, it's going to cooperate today, and let me join you like immediately. What? Facebook is on its best behavior. So if Facebook is on its best behavior, let me join immediately, and no storms outside. So I'm assuming that Facebook is going to cooperate and that we're going to stay on the whole night. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you. If it's your first time joining us, please let us know who you are, and please let us know your name and that it's your first time, because we would love to give you a shout out and to welcome you. Hello, Linda from Rock Island, Illinois. Hello, John from Home Base. Hello, Hattie. Good to see you. I am so excited that Facebook let me on immediately. Hello, Mary from Pittsburgh. And hello, Carol Lou. So I'm so excited that it has immediately started giving me notifications. Let me on immediately, and no storms in the area. And hello, Anna. It's good to see you. Hello, Sandra from Dingman's Ferry. Awesome to see you. And hello, Mary Ann from Pennsylvania. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, it's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. And hello, Sylvia. Do go ahead and give me a shout out. Go ahead and say hello, because I would love to say hi to you. And again, if you're new, hello, Sherry, sneaking in there. If you're new, let us know, because we would love to welcome you also. I said at the beginning, this is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. For new people, because we do have quite a few new people who have just found us from watching YouTube, who have been in other groups. Good evening, Trish. Who have found us from other groups. People that are just joining, just starting. Don't know, where to start, what to do. So for all of you new people, hello, Katie. For all of you new people, we do have a blog called If You Have an Egg. It's just IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And if you will just run on over there, you can see all of our chats. You can download all of the notes, you can print all of the notes. So I talk fast. Hello, Pat from Illinois. I talk fast, even though I'm from the South. I don't drink sweet tea, and I talk fast. Okay, that's unusual for somebody that's actually from the South. And hello, Orlando Debbie, good to see you. So you can go over there and print out the notes, because sometimes I talk faster than I think you all can hear, and I know faster than you can write. And hello, Vicki, good to see you. So you can go over there and print those notes out anytime. We're on chat number 286. That means that we have had 285 other chats. Those are all over on YouTube. Again, that's just youtube.com. And then if you search If You Have an Egg, you can see all of those. There are more than 285 videos there. If you want to go, watch or listen to them, I'd love for you to do that. And I would love for you to comment. You all have become eerily quiet over on YouTube. Especially you, Rosie. Not pointing you out or anything, but you used to chat a lot on YouTube, and y'all have been eerily quiet. Okay. So let's get to it, though. We are winding down August. It is coming to an end really quickly. Has anyone else noticed that all of the stores all of a sudden have all of their Halloween stuff out? So like back to school stuff seems like that was just there. But I went across the street to Food City today, all decked out in Halloween. All of their Halloween and fall stuff is out. Went to another store earlier in the week. Halloween is everywhere. So we're already being inundated with candy corn and all of the sweet treats. Hello, Elaine. All of the sweet treats. So be prepared. We will go over the Halloween candy and Halloween sweet treat list again. Oh my gosh. Wait. Vicki says their Costco already has Christmas decorations. How? Please let us have Halloween first. Oh no. And Mary is like me. She says candy corn. And is laughing. So yeah, I do candy corn and peanuts mixed together. Don't do it. Do not start it, because it is a hard habit to break. And Carol loves Halloween. Yeah, Halloween's my favorite holiday too, but still, come on. It's not even September. At least give me till, at least until the first day of September. But yeah, who has stores that already have Halloween? And who has stores that already have Christmas? Yeah, so Vicki does. That's crazy. Christmas already being out for Christmas is absolutely insanity. Okay, so news and reviews for this last week of August. The one thing I want to tell you all, or I actually want to ask a question before we get started, before we start our news. Who thinks that, Weight Watchers or WW, who thinks it does better if you use your tools? So give me some thumbs ups if you think you do better if you use your tools. So thumbs ups for that. I'm going to wear out your thumbs ups and hearts today. Yeah, Anita says the stores there in South Carolina have already started. Yeah, so thumbs ups. Trish says Halloween and Christmas. They're already loaded with Halloween and Christmas. So thumbs ups if you think you do better when you use your tools. And then a couple of you all are already doing hearts. So hearts, I'm going to wear out the thumbs ups and the hearts tonight. And Anita says definitely on the tools. Yeah. So, and then hearts, if you think you do better when you attend something like this. So whether it's an in-person workshop, and we're not talking about the in-person workshops yet, but if you think you do better when you attend an in-person workshop, when you attend something like this with us, like a live chat where you can talk to other people. Oh, hold on a second. Caroline is here. Caroline's here just in from a night out. And she is safely home from Spain. Also, it's good to see you, Caroline. And aloha, Kathy. So hearts, if you think that you do better when you're in a group setting like this, whether you get to sit your bottom in a chair or if you're just in a group setting with us like this, hello, Susie. And thumbs ups if you think that tools, hello, Penny, it's good to see you, do better if you do better with your tools. So if it works better with tools. Okay, so we all know it works better. So Weight Watchers, WW, whatever you're doing works better if you're using your tools. And I think it definitely works better if you're in a community setting. So the little bit of news that I want to tell you is that on August the 22nd, there was a press release. It was released by the PRN Newswire in New York, and they released that a randomized clinical study. So that means that these people, so the people that were in this study, they were randomly given either a weight loss program or asked to try some kind of weight loss program on their own, but they were randomly selected. So they didn't know, they had no idea which one they were going to be picked for. So a clinical study, a randomized clinical study, reports that, and this is in quotations, a new randomized clinical trial published in the JAMA, J-A-M-A, Network Open found that those who engaged in Weight Watchers, specifically in Weight Watchers, which is a commercially available weight loss program, so it's available to everyone, even if you're just digital. Okay, I didn't say that an in-person workshop was available to everyone, but even if you're digital online only, but that found that those who in this clinical trial, so in this randomized clinical trial, those who were given Weight Watchers as the weight loss program to try, lost more than twice the amount of weight than those who were told to try and lose weight on their own. So, hello, Liz from San Angelo. It's good to see you. But those who were randomly assigned to Weight Watchers were also more likely to achieve clinically significant weight loss of 5% at 3 and 12 months, which can help lead to health benefits like improvements in blood pressure, blood cholesterol, blood sugar, things like that. So we already know, we just did a lot of thumbs ups and a lot of hearts to remind ourselves that when we use our tools and when we're in a community like this, we didn't randomly select that. So none of us randomly selected Weight Watchers, okay? We either already knew somebody that was doing it, we'd heard something about it, you heard something great about it, you tried it before and you wanted to try it again, but people that were randomly selected to do Weight Watchers lost twice as much weight as people who tried this on their own. I'm saying that, I'm telling you that bit of news because we are getting into the season. Summer is done. It's done. We are winding down summer and we are getting into that season where I see people say, and I'm already starting to see it, people say, I think I'm just going to try this on my own. I think I'm just, I'm going to quit Weight Watchers. I'm going to, let my membership expire. I'm just going to try this on my own because I don't really need it. I don't feel like I don't feel like I need the community. I don't feel like I need the tools. I'm telling you, you need the tools and you need the community. Okay. So this community, Caroline lost 1 pound this week. Whoa. And she hasn't seen that since Christmas. See, that's awesome. Thank you, Caroline. Hello, Kim. It's good to see you. And hold on a second. Vicki says she has a new food find. Just Bare spicy chicken breasts are 6 points, and she is in heaven. Good grief, what's on those to make them 6 points? Just saying, that bit of news confirmed what I already know. This community, so being in a community of other like-minded people and using your tools, twice as much. That's not a 1. That's not a 2. Twice as much weight lost in this randomized clinical study as those who were trying it on their own. Okay, so I understand if you can't afford it right now. I understand if you don't have an in-person workshop to go to, but please still keep trying to do something like this. A clinical study like this is proven twice as much weight as trying to do it on your own. Okay, that's all the news that I've got for the end of August. Let's jump straight into our workshop. If you are brand new, this is an hour long. It's an hour-long workshop, but I promise it doesn't feel like an hour. It feels like about 10 minutes to me. I don't know what it feels like to you all. But if you're brand new, this is an hour long, and the first 30 minutes we do, we cover whatever was the WW Weekly topic from the week before. And in the second half, we do something fun. And tonight, we have something fun. I have something fun, and it already smells good, even though I haven't actually started preparing it yet. But this month is August. We're winding down August, and we've been talking about the journey this entire month. So the first thing I want to know about your journey is, did you put your little bottom in a chair last week? So thumbs ups if your bottom was in a chair last week. If you attended an in-person workshop, I did. So I'm going to give two thumbs ups. I'm going to give 2 thumbs ups. And of course, Linda's bottom was in a green chair last week. And hearts. Okay, so if you went to an in-person workshop, thumbs ups. Or if you attended a Zoom workshop, a thumbs up. And, well, thank you, Caroline. That's very sweet. Or if you watched it with us live last week or watched later on demand, give us some hearts for those. Of course, I was here. I had to be with us live last week, so a heart for that. Yep, so lots of hearts and thumbs ups. Good job, everybody. And I'm so proud of you all for continuing to do this when we're getting back to school time. Ooh, lots of hearts. Somebody watched all of them. Going back to school, getting the kids ready, changing schedules again, blah, 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 winding down the summer. Y'all are awesome. And Gwen's last name is Roddy. So Vicky just asked what Gwen's last name is. She's my fearless leader on Tuesday nights. And her last name is Roddy, in case you need to know that. But, and Anita has lost the volume. Anita, I'm not sure what to say. I'm not sure what to tell you. I can't check to see if the volume is turned up or it would be bouncing back. So if somebody else could give me some feedback on it, that would be awesome. But bravo to everyone who attended an in-person workshop last week, did a Zoom workshop, or attended it with us live or later on demand. Okay, so winding up August and talking about this journey. Everything is about the journey, and it's about your journey, not my journey, her journey, his journey. Dusty has a haircut. Remind me at the end of the chat to show you on his new haircut. But we're talking about the journey, and the journey is going to be, thank you, Debbie, for letting me know that. The journey is going to be different for everybody. But last week during chat number 285, we were talking about the journey to how to say no. I stink at that, okay? I am so bad. I'm so bad about saying no. I don't know. I'm not good at it, okay? So, and that's silly. I do know how good the volume is because I can actually see it on my little dial here. So I'm going to say that the volume is good, and you might need to come out and go right back in, anybody who is having trouble. But anyway, so talking about saying no. And so last week we were talking all about that. We were talking about that when someone or something wants more time or more attention than you have available. So we were talking about, I had chatted for just a second about Alyssa immediately needing my attention while there was water pouring out of the inside of Casey's cabinet, but telling her no, and it was a gentle no. I wanted to tell her yes. I wanted to say, yes, I want to go and play with you because I didn't want to deal with this water mess. But telling her no and then handing her a flashlight and letting her be my flashlight let me say yes to getting that under control. So sometimes you have to say no when somebody wants more of your time or attention, than you have time to give them. I'm so bad at that. I am so bad. Who are my other people that just literally find it impossible to tell people no when they want your time or attention? And I know that's not Carol. She's really good at telling people no. But who are my other struggle to tell people no when they want your time or attention people? And this week, I'm just going to say again, Marianne, she's with me. I'm just going to say this week, again, super, super, super hard. We had someone out sadly, he's on bereavement now. But he was out all week. Of course, everybody wanted as much of my attention as they normally get. Sylvia says her, Sandra says me, Anita's got her hand up. But they wanted the same amount of time of my attention, okay? So, and Susie struggles just like I do. So, I already have, my normal job. I'm the owner here at Casey Kitchen Center. I have my normal job, and he was out, sadly preparing, for bereavement. And is on that now, but everybody still wanted the exact same amount of time. Oh my goodness. If we had not had the chat last week, I would have just said yes to everybody, and I would have ended up working somehow 85 or 90 hours last week. I don't know how I would have done it because there aren't that many hours in the day, but instead, I said no to a handful of people. I said no to a handful of situations, and I said no to a handful of customers and put them off for like 2 weeks until I can get this back under control again. But it allowed me to saying yes to being home at a decent time every night, yes to eating real food, yes to preparing some meals, and yes to not going crazy and just eating whatever I could find. But then we also talked about when you really want to say yes, but you should say no. So I had a couple of those last week too. I had a couple of situations where I really, really wanted to say yes, but I wanted to say no. That one's tough. So, sometimes you need to just, stop and say, no, I can't right now, or this isn't the right time for that, or, because then you might be able to say yes to another day. Or yes, okay, Debbie says saying no sometimes means saying yes to self-care. Yeah, and you've got to have that. But sometimes you can just change it. You can just change it and be a yes for something else. And then also when you didn't want to say yes to start with, I still struggle to say no, even when I didn't want to say yes to start with. But learning to take a breath and say no can save you sometimes, okay? I had to do that several times this week. Hello, Melinda. Several times this week, I had to say, hold on a minute, and breathe and think internally, okay, do I want to do this? Do I need to do this? What's going to happen if I don't do this? Okay, so your homework for last week was my no-no journey, and I needed the homework last week just as badly as you all did. And seeing your homework really, really helped me put this week into perspective, because I'm not kidding you. I mean, I was already working 12 and 13-hour days without him. Without him here, it could have gotten worse fast. So your homework for last week and my homework for last week was #my no-no journey. And so last week I wanted you to muster up some strength. Hello, Evie. I wanted you to muster up some strength to firmly, but with love, say no to something or someone, and then so that you could say yes to something else. So here's how you did on your homework. Lynn put some items in her Aldi cart that were not part of her plan. That happens, right? Okay, it happens all the time. And I know it happens to you too. But when she went to check out, they weren't available. Those items were not available. So it allowed Lynn to take a breath, to stop for a second, realize what was going on, and then take a quick check of what she really wanted and say no when they said, oh, do you want a substitution for those items? It let her say no because it gave her time to take a breath and think about it. And then she said yes to staying on plan. And I promise you, I know Lynn saying yes to staying on plan felt better, so much better than those things that had accidentally landed in her cart. I know for a fact. Mary said no. This one's a smart one. Smart one. Mary said no to popcorn the day before weigh-in so she could say yes to success at the scales without the extra sodium. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but if you can lay low on the sodium the day, or even for me, 2 days before you weigh in, it's going to make a difference, okay? Mary was so smart to do that. So smart to say no to that popcorn. And then Kelly said no to an offer of McDonald's. Now remember, we're talking 12, 13, 14-hour days. Kelly said no to an offer of McDonald's this week so that she could say yes to homemade mac and cheese for dinner that night and still have points to spare, okay? So that's how it's done. I'm not good at it. Y'all can still, teach me some lessons on how to say no also. That would be awesome. Okay, this week though, so this is chat number 286, and we are talking about exercise again. Did we not just talk about exercise or moving or something 4 weeks ago? It was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Hello, Sandra from Naperville. Oh, Sandra's visiting her sister. Well, tell your sister hello. I haven't seen her in forever. But I'm serious. We just talked about exercise or moving or something 3 or 4 weeks ago. Am I right? So I went back and looked, and in chat number 282, which is just 4 weeks ago, hello, Barbara, I haven't seen you forever, which is just 4 weeks ago, we talked about putting the F back in fitness, but here we are again talking about exercise just a month later. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is that we're talking about it just a month later? Okay, it's because our bodies are meant to be mobile, okay? That's why. They're not meant to sit still for extended periods of time. They are not meant to sit in front of the TV. They're not meant to sit in front of a computer. They are meant to be mobile. And I actually found another article. Y'all know how much I love to research things on the internet, but I found another article, and this one was in Harvard Health, and it even stated that while you can't, this guy's name is Dr. Foreman, and he said, while you can't completely stop aging, staying active can slow down the destructive processes that lead to disease and immobility, which diminish your quality of life. Most of my patients are very concerned about frailty. Okay, I had not thought about it in that sense, but it all makes sense. Now, this is another reason to talk about exercising, to talk about movement, to talk about getting up and doing things. When my dad was so sick there at the end, his doctor kept talking about exercising, not in the sense of going out for a jog, but keeping his core strength up, balancing, things like that. But I want you to listen to this again real quick. He said, so this is Dr. Foreman, and this is in the Harvard Health, and I will post a link to that, or Jessica will post a link to that when she does the chat notes tomorrow or Tuesday. But he said, and listen carefully, because none of us are getting any younger, okay? All of us, every single one of us on this chat will be a day older tomorrow than we were today, and a day older the next day, and a day older the next day. Okay, so he said, while you can't completely stop aging, so there's nothing we can do to continue aging, staying active can slow down the destructive processes. You thought about that? So there are destructive processes happening inside of your body. Whether you do anything about it or not, there are destructive processes going on inside of your body that can lead to disease and immobility. So the even more lack of ability to move, which can diminish your quality of life. I don't know about you, but I think I can find a way to get a little bit of exercise in a day and not diminish my quality of life. And he's nailed it when he said most of his patients are very concerned about frailty. So frailty, yeah, and Melinda says by the time this live is over, we will be 1 hour older. That's exactly right. We will all be 1 hour older, and we can't turn that back. But the frailty, though, I really do go back and think about, my parents. So when they couldn't exercise anymore, when they couldn't get any, activity in, it was shocking how fast they became frail. I have some friends right now who are having some health issues, and the longer they are not allowed to try and do some form of exercise, and I don't mean getting up and jogging around their hospital room, they're becoming frail. They're becoming frail. I mean, they're just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It really just opened my eyes when I saw that. Okay, so some things about exercise, because we're talking about it again this week. Ways, there are lots of ways to get exercise. There are lots of things that you can do. First thing I want to talk about, though, is you have to find something that you like. So I'm just going to say, if you see me running, you need to start running too, okay? Because that means something is chasing me. All exercise is not one size fits all. That's what's so beautiful about this new WW program, about the personal points, and we are going to mute that because I have, believe it or not, even though I have worked in excess of 50 hours this week, that is a customer texting me. And they are not watching this live, so shush. No, you cannot have my Sunday nights. But anyway, that's what part of what is so nice about this new WW program is personal points, and the way it calculates fitness, and the way it calculates exercise and food and everything else. It's not one size fits all. So I'm not a runner. I will not run. It's not going to happen. I tried it a couple of times, and I'm not even interested in learning more about it, buying any gear, joining anybody, whatever. Yeah, and Susie says if she sees me running, she will run. Yeah, you should run. Let's see, because something is definitely chasing me. Something is wrong. Okay, but anyway, I have no interest in ever trying it again. My fearless leader Gwen, on the other hand, loathes anything that has to do with the water. See, I would swim anytime, anywhere, any chance, any opportunity that you get to swim, I'll take it. She cannot stand the water, can't stand it. So she's never going to do anything that involves the water. I'm going to tell you what I used to tell Casey when she was growing up, and now Alyssa has to listen to it. Bo will also have to listen to it at some point. But they heard this at least once a week. You have to try one bite. In this case, it would be exercise. Try one bite, and if you don't like it, you never have to eat it or do it again. So when you find something, I want you to, if you're physically able, I want you to try it once. And if you like it, great. But if you don't like it, just like running for me, you don't ever have to do it again, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is just do it. So that's a phrase that was made famous by Nike, but it's a good one. I mean, it makes sense. So just do it. It doesn't matter what you choose, just do it. So maybe it's an hour of intense CrossFit. Also not for me, but my brother loves it. Perhaps it's taking the dog out for an extra stroll twice a day. That would be more like me. Maybe that's more your style. Just do it, okay? And then lastly, never say never. So Carol says she tried yoga once and she'll never do it again. But she tried it. She tried it one time. That's all you have to do. And then never say never. Whenever we chat about exercise, here are the messages that I start getting. I can't because. So I can't do that because I just had surgery. Or my knees are bad. I'll never be able to walk, jog, run, do aerobics, whatever, you name it. Or I get this one a lot too. I'm too old. You don't know how old I am. Oh, if you just knew how old I was, I'm too old to start exercising. Well, Cynthia over in the If You Have an Egg group shared a YouTube video today that proves that everyone, no matter your age, your physical limitations, although I will say, if you have some physical limitations or if you have just had surgery, whatever, please check with your physician before you start anything. But I think this is pretty darn inclusive of most of us, or whatever your attitude is. I think you can do this. So I'm going to have Jessica post this link. If you're in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group, go check out what Cynthia posted today. It's a group called Metro Active, and they are showing you how to do an in-home silver sneakers workout. And I'll post the YouTube there. Cynthia has already posted it over on If You Have an Egg. It actually looks like fun. It's set to Motown music. They're sitting in chairs, and it's a lot of arm movements, but I'm telling you the amount. So I'm thinking if you've just had surgery on hips, knees, feet, if you aren't steady on your hips, knees, or feet, if you've got some mobility issues, this one might be the one for you. It looked like a lot of fun. The music was really upbeat. The music was really upbeat, and I'm telling you, by the end of the workout, they popped a sweat. Okay, so even though they were sitting down, and it seems like something that I'm going to guess that 80% of us can do. Okay. So your homework for this week is #MyMoveItJourney. So I don't know if you know this song or not, but I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. So this is #MyMoveItJourney, MyMoveItJourney. Okay, hold on. So Elaine just had a perfect thing. Okay, Elaine, I'm going to consider this your homework. So Elaine has breathing problems, okay? So that's an actual issue. That's not just I didn't want to get up and do anything today. An actual issue. She has breathing problems. So she tried 15-minute stretch exercises with silver sneakers, and she has been doing it 1 to 2 times a day. Okay? Even with her breathing problems. Okay? Even with her breathing problems, she can do that. But your homework for this week is #MyMoveItJourney. So MyMoveItJourney, #MyMoveItJourney. And I want you to, this is all I want you to do. I want you to find a workout video that you think you or anyone can do on, and you don't even have to do it. I just want you to find one on YouTube, Facebook. Thank you, Lynn, for posting that. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, if it's a short one, something like that. And I want you to share the link to it, because I had no idea that these silver sneaker YouTube videos existed. I had no idea. And I actually have a friend who has just gotten out of the hospital, and I think these would be perfect for her because she has no mobility in her legs right now. So Carol likes the Leslie Sansone videos. So I want you to find something like that. So that's all you got to do for your homework this week is go find a video that you think you and most of us can do. Again, on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you can find things like that. All you have to do is just post the videos, post the link to the video, and then just tag me. So tag me that's your homework. And again, it's #MyMoveItJourney. That's all you got to do for your homework this week. I mean, how easy is that? Everybody can do that. Okay, we are officially at the 30-minute mark. So we're going to take a quick break. Everybody grab a drink of water. If you're brand new, this is an hour-long chat. And at the 30-minute mark, everybody's going to grab some water. Thank you, Sandra, for reminding me. Sandra's she's my good water helper. She's like Plant Nanny. She reminds you, it's time to drink your water. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for that. Okay. And I am thirsty today. So, Everybody go ahead and grab your water. I'm going to get ready because I am making some food tonight, and it is going to be so yummy. If you're watching this later on YouTube, again, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. When the apron goes on, the fun begins. So if you need to divide this up, so like if you're watching this on YouTube and you think, yeah, I don't really need the classroom portion again, but what was it that she made? You can always find the second half, the portion with the food, by looking for the apron going on. Casey does divide these up, and she will post the entire chat as 1 hour long video, and then the second half is a 30-minute video, and it's usually the fun portion. So tonight, for our fun, we're going to spend this next month, so today and the rest of September, we're going to talk about hashtag bulk it up. So how many of you all have been around long enough that you've heard me say hashtag bulk it up? And then how many of you all that remember the hashtag bulk it up, remember that little sign that I used to hold up when we did the chats from home? There was a little sign that I had stuck on I think I had it stuck on like a straw or something. Marianne remembers them, on a straw, and I would flip the little signs around. Well, hashtag bulk it up is one of my favorites, only seconded by hashtag purse check, and Lynn's been around that long. So hashtag bulk it up tonight, and then the rest of September, and Sandra tonight, and Susie tonight, and Carol Lou tonight, and then the rest of September, we're going to be talking about hashtag bulking it up, and here's why. So we have all enjoyed our summer fruits and veggies. We have all enjoyed the plethora of things coming out of people's gardens or our own gardens, farmers markets, fresh produce in grocery stores. I'm sorry, things are just fresher. You know, there are fruits and vegetables that are in season in the fall, and some of them going into the winter, but for the most part, the bulk of it is in the spring and summer. Okay, so as summer is winding down and it is coming to an end, I know my mind is already starting to move a little bit away from some of the fresher things, and I just don't want to forget about bulking it up. So when everything is plentiful, when there's lots of zucchini and squash and cucumbers and peppers and, you know, all that kind of stuff coming out of the garden, corn, tomatoes, things like that, I have eaten so many vegetables this summer that I am to within, I'm to within 8 pounds of goal. So I had been at almost 20 pounds over goal because of stupid COVID. You know, I had to stop walking as much, had to stop going to the gym that I was going to, kind of limited, you know, what and where we could eat, you know, for a little while. And, you know, just to be honest, I mean, I had my panties in a wad about it. But since I've been back on the fresh fruit and veggie kick, you know, I've lost, what would that be, 12 of the almost 20 pounds. I don't want to lose this momentum, and I don't want you all to lose this momentum either. So we're going to be talking about, oh, and Debbie's already done her homework. We're going to be talking, and we don't even have a badge yet. Casey hasn't even made the badge yet. So Debbie, please remind me to come back around, circle back around to this when we get the badge. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about bulking it up, about hashtag bulking it up. And tonight's edition is the Taco Tuesday edition. So I don't know about you, but I love tacos, and I love Taco Tuesday. Oops, and I left something sitting over here. Hold on a second. I left one thing out. I love tacos. I love Taco Tuesday, Taco Wednesday, Taco Thursday, Taco Friday. Yeah, I would have tacos any day of the week. But I'm going to show you how to take something that's that simple, you know, and then hashtag bulk it up. So when you talk about tacos, one of the first things that people talk about, you know, when you think about tacos, you think about either ground beef, or like shredded chicken, or pork, or carnitas, or barbacoa, or some kind of protein. So the first thing I want you to do before we even, and Melinda had tacos for supper. So before we even talk about bulking it up, I want to talk about the protein, whatever protein you're going to use. So the first thing I wanted you to do, shrimp. Ooh, yeah, that's a great idea, Barbara. Yes, I'm on board. You know, or fish tacos. Hadn't even thought about that. But talk about a protein. So for your protein, you could use things like, Barbara just said shrimp. Sandra says ground turkey. I'm going to say I picked up some Gardein ground beef at the store today. And it's funny because I never noticed that they spelled it B-E''F, Beth, but F. Yep. Carol says tofu tacos. I was thinking about those today too. So this is a plant-based ground beef that, and y'all are going to ask me what it's made out of. This is textured soy protein. You can also get you don't have to get meatless anything, but you can get pea protein. There are lots of different, meatless alternatives. But I do like tofu, just like Carol said. I love ground beef alternatives. These are different. Ooh, and Barbara says all vegetable tacos. That sounds good too. But I do want you to pick some kind of protein. The protein could be some kind of meat replacement. It could be chicken. It could be ground turkey. Again, it could be any of those things, but you need to pick some kind of a protein. And Sylvia, no, this is no fewer points. So this is, well, it's fewer points than red meat, but this is no fewer points. So most of the meatless alternatives that I use, and Carol, roasted veggie tacos sound good too. So now I'm going to do that too. Most of the meatless alternatives that I use are the equivalent or near equivalent points of their meat buddies that you might eat. They're just plant-based instead of having meat, so they don't have all the saturated fat and things like that it can have. But this is a little bit less points than like red meat, but this would not be any less points than ground chicken or ground turkey. Okay, so you need to pick a protein. Okay, then the next thing you want to do is pick a carb. So for those of you that are doing lower carb, something like that, like a lower carb. Hold on, I didn't put this in my bowl. Oh, please. But let me talk while I'm doing this. So for those of you that are doing a lower carb alternative, like you're doing a low carb plan, you still need to pick a carb. Just pick a complex carb. And I'm going to tell you that I think it's important that you include some carbs in what you're doing. Carbs don't necessarily mean bread. Remember, fruits and vegetables can have carbs in them. It doesn't just have to be bread. It could be quinoa. It could be, it could be any number of things that are, that are a carb. I'm going to do, for my carbs, I'm going to pick a 0 point carb for me. So beans and corn are 0 points for me right now. So I'm going to put some corn in here. So that's going to be a good carb. I'm just going to put about a half a cup of corn in here. And I'm putting all of these in one of those half bowls that I like so much. You can do this however you want to. But I personally love, I love the presentation of these little half bowls. Everything just maybe it's because it feels like it's fuller when I use one of the half bowls. But then I'm also, for one of my carbs, for another carb, beans are 0 points for me, and these are fat-free. So these are fat-free refried beans. And Sylvia, sorry, if Sylvia is here, what is the brand of the refried beans that you said were so good? So Sylvia was going on and on and on about some last week, and I forgot to write that name down. And if you've never done this before, this is an ice cream scoop. An ice cream, here, watch how easy that was. So most ice cream scoops are 1/4 of a cup. So even if beans are not a 0 point food for you, if you need Rosarita. Okay, so Sylvia said the brand name of the refried beans that she likes so much is Rosarita. I did not look for any because I already had some refried beans, but I'll be checking those out. Now, are they fat-free, Sylvia? Can you get Rosarita fat-free refried beans? You can also get fat-free. These are like refried pinto beans. And you can also get refried black beans. But an ice cream scoop, I'm going to circle back around, Kelly. An ice cream scoop is a 1/4 of a cup. So like a normal ice cream scoop is a 1/4 of a cup. And if you aren't sure if yours is a 1/4 of a cup, fill it up with water, pour the water into a measuring cup, and see how much it is. But this one is a 1/4 of a cup. And refried beans, oh yeah, Sylvia says you can. She says Rosarita's is fat-free, and you can get fat-free refried black beans too. And then look how easy. Oh, come on. Now you're going to make a liar out of me. Ah! I cannot believe this thing just did this. Here we go. Okay. The little thing wasn't back all the way. Oh, good idea. Debbie says, and that's a great idea. Debbie says she uses an ice cream scoop to put her refried beans into the silicone cups to freeze them. that is a fantastic idea. And that's 1/4 of a cup. So if beans are not a 0 point food for you, you can totally do that. You know, measure out 1/4 of a cup. And it's a good amount. Can you see that? That's 1/4 of a cup of refried, fat-free refried beans. Okay, so I've got a protein. The protein that I used is Gardein plant-based ground beef. I picked a carb, and the carb that I picked is corn and refried beans. Then you want to pick 2 0-point foods. So I'm just going to say I double dipped. Oh no, Melinda says you can hopefully trick your mind that it is a scoop of ice cream you are putting into your taco mix. Sure, we'll work on that. Then I had picked 2 0-point foods. So I kind of cheated on that one because refried beans and corn are both 0-point foods for me. So I'll let my carbs and my pick 2 0-point foods, I'll let 2 things take care of that. The next thing though is you want to pick 2 cups of non-starchy veggies. So I've already started, when we're bulking it up, instead of just having tacos, so instead of just having whatever I'm going to make my protein with, like my taco meat, or if it's going to be chicken, or if it's going to be tofu or something like that, instead of just having that, we've already #bulked it up a little bit with a carb, and I double dipped on that and did a carb that is also a 0-point food for me. But you could do, like for the carbs, you could do quinoa, you could do whole wheat rice, you know, and you could double dip on that too. Then you want to do some non-starchy veggies. And I'll tell you why here in a second. And if you don't know why, you've not been paying attention. So you want to do some non-starchy veggies. Hi, Sherry. And I'm going to start with some riced cauliflower. I don't know if you have used riced cauliflower, but it's great for making like those Chipotle, like Chipotle has those power bowls. It's great for those. It's great for the Chipotle power bowls. And we're going to put this in the microwave. I'm not putting this frozen in my bowl. But riced cauliflower, it really does have the consistency of rice if you'll make it with something. I'm not talking about just, you know, dumping in the rice. To my riced cauliflower, though, I'm going to add some diced tomatoes. And I drained them a little bit so that they wouldn't have quite so much liquid in them. But I'm going to add some diced tomatoes, and then I'm going to add some seasoning. And I had in my pantry, okay, so all of this that I selected, I already had the corn, I already had the refried beans. So, you know, I've also been talking a lot about using up what you've got in your pantry. I already had the corn, I already had the refried beans, I already had the riced cauliflower in the freezer, I already had the can of tomatoes, I already had this. You're going to want to use some kind of seasoning. This is Frontera's 3 citrus garlic marinade with cilantro. This sounded fantastic for a taco seasoning. This is not 0 points. It is, yummy, yummy, yummy. It is not 0 points, but it's also not that many points. So we're going to go ahead and stir that in there, and then we're just going to stick this in the microwave just long enough for all of this to kind of meld together. So let's stick this in the microwave for a couple of minutes. So this is a cold salad, so I don't necessarily want it to be, Ooh, Caroline, you need to try it. So Caroline says she hasn't tried cauliflower rice yet, but she has it in the freezer. Yeah, you definitely need to try it because it is fantastic. But okay, this is a cold salad, so I'm not trying to heat that up like to the point of being hot, but I want to get all that blended and mixed together. So again, it's a bag of riced cauliflower. It's 1 can of diced tomatoes, and I went ahead and drained them. You could use some Rotel if you wanted to, but I used what I already had in my pantry. And then I used 1 pack of Frontera roasted garlic marinade with cilantro because that just sounded good as a taco. And then we're going to keep bulking it up. We're going to keep #bulking it up while that's cooking. So I'm going to add a cup of butter lettuce. So I'm going to get, this is a little more than a cup of butter lettuce in there. The reason that we're bulking it up with non-starchy veggies though is, and everybody should know, hello Victoria, everybody should know the answer to this question. So why are we bulking this up with 0 point non-starchy veggies? Anybody? And you should all know the answer to this question. Then to that, I'm going to add, because we're continuing, even though this is the hashtag Bulk It Up Taco Tuesday edition, I am continuing to use up what we already have in the refrigerator and the pantry and everywhere else. These are the leftover peppers from, what was it, a week or two ago? Yep, that's exactly right, Barbara. You get points back. So these are leftover peppers from a couple of weeks ago when we did the stuffed peppers. That's also right. Caroline says because it's more filling. That is also right. Yep, Evie says you add back more points to use. That is also right. So for every cup, in case you didn't know this, in case you're new, or if you just, forgot, or if you just needed a refresher, for every cup of non-starchy vegetables that you add back 1 point. So we already have 1 cup, and this is non-starchy vegetables. We already have 1 cup of butter lettuce in here. We're going to add, this is going to be more than a cup, but we're going to call it 1 cup of leftover peppers. And again, this is just the rings. This is where I trimmed the peppers. What was it? I think it was 2 weeks ago when we did the stuffed peppers. Ooh, yeah, Debbie says all those veggies have fiber too, natural fiber. She's exactly right about that. Okay, let's see how this is coming along. Well, it smells good, if nothing else. So again, this is cauliflower rice, or riced cauliflower, diced tomatoes, and then that Frontera sauce. We're gonna have to cook it heat it up for just another minute or two. The rice is still a little bit frozen. If you don't take your granddaughter and daughter to a play a couple of hours before the chat starts, then you don't have to worry about your cauliflower rice being frozen. But we did not get back in time for me to take everything out and let it thaw. Ooh, it smells so good. Okay, let's put this back in for just a minute. Okay, so we have the protein. So I picked a protein. I chose a meatless plant-based ground crumble. And the play was really good, Barbara. Thank you. It's a children's play here in Knoxville, and they have Alyssa's already asking us. She took a little flyer to make sure that we knew when the next one was. And yes, Debbie, she did. She really did. And again, she took the flyer because she wanted to make sure that we knew when the next one was going to be. So I picked a protein. And so the protein that I picked was a plant-based ground beef. I picked 2 carbs. You can pick 1 carb, but pick a carb. I picked 2 carbs that also happen to be 0 points for me. So I picked corn and refried beans, because beans are 0 for me. Then I'm adding back a point. So the amount of meat that I put in here is 3 points, but I just added back a point for putting in a cup of lettuce. I'm also going to add this cup of peppers, and the bonus on the peppers is that they came, and I'm eating the peppers raw because I love raw peppers. If you would prefer that they were cooked, you can certainly do that. Man, I love raw peppers. Okay, so there is that. So now I've added back 2 points. So all of a sudden, I'm down to 1 point because the corn is 0 for me and the beans are 0 for me. The meat was 3, but I'm back down to 1 point because I've added 2 cups of non-starchy veggies. Ooh, yeah, this smells so good. And you could use any kind of seasoning. You don't have to use, you don't have to use something like the Frontera. You can use any kind of seasoning. And it didn't even have to be something liquidy. Okay, now I'm gonna add some, wow, gosh. Whew, can you smell that? Ooh, okay, Debbie says also that's 12.5 grams of protein on the refried beans. That is good to know. That is super good to know. I'm just gonna taste that. Okay, so I'm gonna add about 1/2 cup of the cauliflower. This is the riced cauliflower. I get to lick my fingers because it's just me eating this and no one else. Okay, so now I've added about 1/2 cup of riced cauliflower with diced tomatoes. I've added that to this. So now I have 3 points for me, 0 points for me, 0 points for me. Add back 2 points. Not technically add back 1/2 point because it's only, 1/2 cup. But let's just say I've added back 2.5 and I'm running out of room on this plate. Okay, so here is why. This is why on your Taco Tuesday that you want to hashtag bulk it up. Look how big that is. This is huge. I mean, look how big this plate is. This is absolutely huge if you just wanted to eat it like it is. But adding back the points, now if I wanted to do this, I could put them on tortillas, because now I have plenty of points that if I wanted to mix this up and put it on tortillas, I could. And Melinda's exactly right. You could totally split this up and use it for 2 meals. Yeah, because you would be. Yeah, she said you would be stuffed for the day. You really would be. I mean, it's 7 till 9 o'clock here. So I'll not be doing that, tonight. But you can totally do that. You could make this into 2 meals. You could put it on some tortillas. You could put it in taco shells. So, I mean, these little carb counter tortillas, these are so low points that I could have all of this plus, I don't even know how many of these. Gosh, 4 of these, and I would still have it under 5 points. Debbie snuck in and looked. I can add some real cheese. So this is 2 tablespoons or 1/8 of a cup of real cheese, of real Tillamook cheese. And guess what? I've added back enough points that I am going to add the real cheese on there, okay? So, yeah, that's going to be actual, real, fantastic cheese. So now I've got my protein. I've got 2 carbs that are 0 points for me. I've added back 2.5 to 3 points in non-starchy veggies. So I just added some real cheese. And if I want to, you could do taco shells. You could do real sour cream if you wanted to do that. You could do any of that because you just added back points to it. So hashtag bulking it up is for bulking it up. It's for making you full. It's for making you feel fuller. A lot of the thing, Debbie's exactly right. A lot of the things that you would use to hashtag bulk something up are full of fiber, and so they're going to fill you up faster. They're going to keep you full longer. They're going to help with other processes in your body that need to, need to process. They're going to, it's going to use up things that you already had in your pantry. It's going to use up some of those summer vegetables. It's going to give you points back if you use a non-starchy veggie in there. Now, I'm going to add, just so that I can try this for y'all, I'm going to add a little bit of this holy guacamole. I currently do not have avocado as a 0 point food for me, but this is really not very many points. But I want to try this before we leave the chat tonight. Let me go grab a fork. I have spoons, but for some reason I did not bring a fork out. So what are some things that you all like to hashtag? Well, we do not have a clean fork in this building. I'm gonna have to use a plastic fork. Apparently eating well instead of going to McDonald's this week, instead of letting someone get me McDonald's this week, I have used up all of our clean forks. So I have to use a plastic one. Okay, so a little bit of guacamole, a little bit of meat. Oh my gosh, I can't even get all this on the fork. A little bit of corn, a little bit of cheese. This is ridiculous. I should probably just go ahead and put it on one of the taco shells. A little bit of beans. Ah! I can't even get all this on there. But what are some of your all's favorite ways to bulk it up? I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. And you could, if you had some sour cream, or you could use non-fat plain Greek yogurt. This bite is bigger than I can even get in my mouth. Give me a second. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. My gosh, I love, woo! I love hashtag bulking it up when it tastes like this. This is absolutely fantastic. All of the flavors are great for me because this is not, and Debbie does the same with egg roll in a bowl. Bulk it up with some extra cabbage. But all of this for me is still going to be under, let's see, because of what I added back in points, all of this is still going to be under 6 points for me. Let's see, right at 6 points for me. Look at this. Look at all this. This is huge. Like, you can't possibly eat this. And so I've got room for some tortillas. I've got points for some chips if I wanted to add some chips. I've got points that I can add the guacamole. So hashtag bulk it up, bulk it up, bulk it up. Tonight was hashtag bulk it up, Taco Tuesday style. We will talk next week about another way to hashtag bulk it up. And I'm sorry, I love refried beans. Okay, this is so yummy, so delicious. I hope that you all will try it. Next week we're going to talk about another way to hashtag bulk something up. You could do this as a breakfast one. I just realized that. You know what? That with some scrambled eggs as the protein. Whoa, would that not be awesome? So I hope y'all throw out some ideas to use for this, some things, what you would like to see in your taco bowl, in your Taco Tuesday bowl. But I'm going to suggest that you pick a protein, pick a carb, pick two or more 0-point foods, and then pick at least 2 cups of non-starchy veggies, and you will have the perfect bulk it up bowl. So I hope you all enjoyed tonight. I cannot wait to dig into this because it is going to be so yummy. But if you're watching this on YouTube, please let that roll over. Go ahead and let the next video roll over. I promise you'll enjoy it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and click that button to subscribe. Oh, and I wanted to show you all Dusty's hair real quick. Real quick. Come here, buddy. Of course, he thinks he's going to eat some of what we just talked about. Oh, but Dusty got a new haircut. Look how beautiful and handsome that he looks. And he's like, oh, look. Oh, yeah, Barbara Onion would be good in that. But Dusty's like, oh, look, mother's going to feed me some of that. No, I'm not going to. But y'all have a great week. I enjoyed it again. Thank you all for letting me share this and for letting me enjoy my, my yummy dinner. But I will see you all next time. Have a great week. Good night.